All right, I don't remember what part we're on, but I'm just gonna start this process real quick. All right, set up the camera. All right, continue with the Kawasaki Ninja 250. We're gonna start removing the fairings and the fuel tank. You're gonna have to remove the fuel tank just because you're gonna need the space as well to get out the carburetor, which is pretty simple overall. Gotta make sure we got the right size bolts as well. Make sure this is it. That's a little bigger. Like I said, you gotta use the Allen keys, the correct Allen keys. And if you're using a tool, just the area of where we're putting this. And if you guys don't know what an Allen key is, again, just a reminder. It's that kind of style bit. Right, it's not a star of any kind. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided. We're gonna remove the bolts. The top ones are different or smaller size, and then we'll get the process going. All right. Also remember, save the bolts. So to have something to make sure that you don't lose any of it. That side should one on the bottom down here. See the angle there? Yep. Like I said, you can use a hand tool if you wanted to, but since I got extra tools to make sure that make things go faster, pretty simple. Bolts here, bolts here. Doesn't look like anything else other than a flathead. We'll remove that end. Same process on the opposite end. At one point, it looks like this bike did have the fairings come off at one point, because this bolt on this side is not the same size as the others. Not the end of the world. Sometimes you want to put a washer in there just to make sure it's snug on there. Pretty simple task here. Switch out the bit. Remove the top ones. Comes with these little plastic washers as well. So just keep everything in the same area. There goes the plastic washer moving around again. And okay. Let's see what we got going now. That piece is now loose off the bike. It's good. This one, I don't doubt they connect in some way between the two seam lines. There's probably a tab between the two. So I'm gonna move those two. pretty much trial and error sometimes when it comes to any kind of new bike. So don't get worried about what you're removing. If you're removing too much, it's a learning process. You're supposed to know your bike. You're supposed to learn your whole entire bike. Okay. Some tabs on the inside. Whole thing's moving now. Looks like I'm gonna need a flathead. Show you real quick. Flathead screwdriver, right? Bring it over here. See that? You're gonna have to remove that tab real quick. Let's see if I get an angle on this thing so it doesn't fall over. See, shove a little tab in there, pop it open just like that. Super simple. Pop. And it'll separate. Okay. Pops right out. If these tabs do break, they will break eventually, occasionally too, just because, you know, they're pieces of plastic. You buy these pretty cheap on Amazon or wherever you want to get it. Not the end of the world. All out fails, slap a bolt on there and a nut and you'll be fine too. Well, you know, these cheap plastic tabs, get it online, you get a whole bunch of them at the same time. All right. Let's see what else we got. We got one also on the bottom of the bike, or not on the bottom, like right here, right under it too as well. Let me see if I can show you an angle. There you go. It's right here, right? A little blurry, but same exact style tab. Do the exact same thing, pop it out, and we'll continue with removing the fairings. This one is very simple. So place straight up, piece of tab again. See? It is just a push tab. Make sure you save all these. All right, let's see. Let me look all around. See if I can remove it real quick. Garage is a mess right now because I'm doing so many projects at the same time. Coming off. Alright, so this you just lift up. Looks like it just popped right off. Alright, snap. Nothing hooked on. Okay. Bottom end. Oh. There's another tab. Also right below the front fairing one. Same concept, same plastic tab. You'll find it as you go, like I said. Sometimes it's not there, sometimes it is. Same style removal, using the flathead. Bam. Easy tab. Now it splits just like that. Alright, let's see what else we got. Split in here. Alright, just falling off. Yep, looks like this tab with a screw right into the front fairing actually connects to the side fairings as well. As we're looking through, it looks like, as long as this is not connected, it looks like it is connected. We got another Allen key required. Let me show you that as well. And going to the side of the bike, inside of it is right here. Another Allen key. And these tabs as well. These are just push tabs again. These ones right here. Okay. Push tab, push tab. Will I need to remove that back one? Probably not. This is just the inner fairing side. We shall see. Let me remove that as well. Comes out just like that. Whew. There we go. It just starts to fall apart. I don't know if this is a push tab. I'm gonna assume it is one of the push tabs. It is. It's one of these little push tabs right here. It's a little degraded. Something that you could probably replace down the line too, like I said. Cheap stuff. Right now, fairing's out of the way. Whether you want to disconnect the wires or not does not matter to me. Whatever you want to do, but getting the fairing out of the way is important. Woo, look at that. Some dry rot. Let's hold this tab in, or this box. Okay, looks like the person who previously owned this put HIDs in. If you guys don't know what HIDs are, they make your headlights super bright, and they are usually like color blue or white. It's a ballast right here. It's kind of like a component that just forces more power into the bulb. And each bulb is specialized, so don't be just slapping one of these things and hope it'll get bright as hell. It's not the same case. All right. Another thing when you're doing all this stuff, I always like to take pictures because I'm actually recording all this, I'm just gonna show you exactly where everything is at. And maybe if you forgot to take a picture, hopefully this video will help you out with some of that kind of stuff, because that's what I used to do. I'll forget to take a picture. So I'll use videos of people's posts and hope for the best that I find the exact images that I actually need. Okay, so right now this is off. Not always the best to let this thing dangle, but at the same time I just don't really want to remove this whole entire thing. Just, let's see. Oh, actually, this is very simple right here. There's a little clip section for this wire. This turn signal wire's clip is right here. Right here. So just unclip it. And you could remove the whole fairing as a whole. Also, again, with these plastic tabs, they always break very easily. So kind of figure out exactly what it is or how to remove it. So I'm going to stare at this real quick. All right, let's see. It looks like you got to push down the back end of it. You got to have a lot of finger strength. If not, you don't got finger strength. Let me see if I got a tool to push that down. Some form of needle nose pliers would work. Easy day. So let me show you exactly how to remove that portion. On this tab, There's the back end right here. It has little ridges. Put force on that, and then it would unclip itself. All right, simple as that. So don't be trying to stick something in there to pry it up, because if you pry it up and it snaps, not the end of the world. It's a turn signal. You're not gonna die from it, but yeah, put a little pressure on the back. It'll lift the front end, and then the whole entire thing comes off. All right. Now looking at these hoses, you see all these hoses. This is a good time to make sure exactly what hose goes where. So for this one, this bottom hose feeds into the center. Sometimes you could color it if you want to, if you have the time to color it with some like white paint or white markers or any kind of color marker. You got the far left one goes to, looks like the right tube. And then this far right one, let's see, travels down, travels out. Okay, so that is a purging fuel tube. It looks like it just purges either air or liquid or whatever goes over it. And it'll just go out and shoot down the side and out the back. Okay, so reason being, these hoses are very important, or all these hoses are important, because there's always a chance it requires something for either your state that requires it to flow back into the engine so it burns off the extra fuel or fumes or whatever it is in there, right? If you don't have this installed correctly, there's always a chance your bike will either bog out or it'll run just fine. You're just now not meeting emissions. I know in the state of California, I've never had any of my bikes smogged for whatever reason, unless it's coming out of state where you have to kind of get it smogged, because it requires a specific stamp for the state of California. Actually, let me show you something real quick. You do buy a bike in the state of California, and it needs a... Continue to talk to myself. All right, if you do buy a bike from a different state and you're trying to register in California, there is a specific emission sticker that is required by the state of California, which is on this one here, vehicle emissions control information. So as long as you have this, it's good for the specific states of where you're going. And in this case, this bike was bought in California. It's made for California. It has all the emission stickers. You try to register anywhere else, like Arizona, this bike will just get registered with no issues down the line, all right? But it's in the back seat, located back here, all right? What else we gotta remove? Next thing to focus, let's remove the fuel tank. All right, so now the fuel tank is somewhat intimidating for some people. It's very simple again. Remember where everything is. This is just one of the first inspections I want to look at, is that hose line. And I'm just going to do a quick run around of the vehicle in case you guys need some type of image, especially with these hoses. Gosh, there's so many hoses on the carburetor. Every single thing needs to be connected the same way, but that's the point of pictures. Make sure you take pictures. So let's get to the next level. We're gonna start removing the gas tank. Actually, let me get this side off too, before I start touching anything else. Okay, put that there. I like to do everything in one clip so it doesn't skip anything. And if it does skip something, I'm sorry, but it's more than likely it's not. I don't like to edit clips, because this is a learning experience for everyone. And sometimes you just need every single detail information when doing any of this. It's funny. I was actually looking online recently, and there's another one of these bikes on sale. Makes me want to buy it just because I know I'm doing all this at the same time. Why not do 2 bikes at the same time? But same time, I also work full time, so I'm not trying to task myself with so much duties. Same thing, just start wiggling it back and forth, trying to gauge everything, or make sure nothing's attached. I forgot there's another tab down there. That's why we do everything. And that bolt is bigger than the other bolt. That's funny. Here's it. Whoever removed this fairing before didn't put it exactly back together, but that also goes to show, like, you're not gonna die if you put the wrong bolt in the wrong area when it comes to the fairings. You just gotta make sure it's snug enough that it just doesn't fall off. Okay? Just a little background. I don't know if I said it before. I started working on motorcycles just because I wanted to do something, just to learn, you know, kind of learn the mechanical portions of any vehicle. And growing up as a boy, obviously a man, I don't know, going through elementary school, middle school, college, all that stuff, everyone always like, oh, I work on cars, I love cars, I love motorcycles. I'm like, a lot of people don't even know how to take a damn tire off their vehicle. So I learned all these things, and I just wanted to increase my knowledge over everything. And with the power of YouTube, it taught me a lot of stuff. Literally how to do everything. And I got really addicted to just working on motorcycles. It's very fun to me. Bam. Fairing comes off. Same thing with this side. Now we're going to look on this side. You see the turn signal tab is here. So we're going to press the back end, right? Press the back end and then just pull this out. So I feel like the newer generations of people are just becoming more reliant on others. They don't want to work with their hands. They don't know how to use specific tools. Bam. Simple as that. So this is just a video kind of show, like, you can learn a lot of things on YouTube. You learn a lot of things on YouTube. People can help you with anything. Do simple things. Learn how to change the oil on a car. Learn how to change the oil on a motorcycle. And if you don't, look up on YouTube. Learn these skills because it'll save you money in the long term. You'll feel more accomplished about yourself that you're actually knowing how to do simple taskers. And I'm starting to think whether I should make this channel into a channel that just teaches individuals on how to do simple things, like with your hands, you know. I could even show you how to fix a toilet. I'm not a plumber. Not a plumber. But little simple things. All right. Got the fairing off. Now I want to work on getting the nuts off. The bolts, I mean, on the top end. And then gauge what else is holding this bike down. So, go over here. That looks like a 10 millimeter. Let's see. That's a 10 millimeter, so I'll grab. Every tool is different. Let's just say you remove these bolts. You don't want to lose them, so you could screw them back in as long as it's out of the way and not in your way. Yeah. Move both these bolts. It looks like it has a washer on it. It doesn't look like it's gonna slip off in any way. Boom. So this comes off too. Keep these all together. Let's see. Oh, it's like that. Oh. The tank is empty, or empty enough. All right. Let's see if we can just lift up the butt end and slide it out. Let's see. Oh yeah. Should probably detach the hoses too. So it doesn't connect to anything. Check on the bottom. Alright, so I'm going to move the camera back to the other side so you can see all the hoses. Alright. Don't want to scratch up these fairings too hard. Move them out of the way. Dusty. All right, remove these hoses. These are just little tabs that hold it in together. Pinch them together, slide it down. Pinch them together, slide it down. If the hoses are cracked, severely cracked, holes everywhere, and it's like a vacuum hose, then yes, replace them, because you're gonna need all the vacuum required for this bike to run properly. Oh, all right, easy day, pull them off. Ooh, that looks like some type of fuel. Oh, it was all slimy too. That's what's weird. So, don't doubt the fuel's been sitting there for quite some time. So, bam, remove the hoses there. I'm gonna look under the bike, or under the fuel tank. Get this down to this level. A little lower. Okay. This is the petcock. Petcock or pepcock? I think it's petcock. You buy these pretty simple online as well. You could rebuild them if they're leaking in any way. You can see the bolts on each end. So rebuild kits are available online. Very easy to find. Just make sure everything is aligned correctly. So take this apart. If you're ever going to have to rebuild this, take this apart. Make sure you could replace the right parts. And when you're comparing pictures, make sure they freaking match. If you're not sure, you could go on different websites like Revzilla. I've heard of those ones. They actually show a whole manual of the bike itself. And you can select on where you want to look, and then just make sure the part number is correct. So you could compare part numbers on different websites, and then buy it off either eBay, Amazon, or even directly at the store to save money. If you're buying generic products meaning like from China or whatever it is, that's up to you what you want to do. I've done it in the past. They work the same, pretty much the exact same concept. Will they degrade faster? No, I don't really think so. I think they work just the same. A lot of products come from China, so make it happen. Do whatever you need to do to get your bike up and running so you could ride it again or sell it or whatever you want to do. But I like using OEM parts too, but because this is a bike that I just want to get up and running and sell it, we'll see what I will need. I wouldn't doubt I will need something eventually. The hoses, just don't waste your time. Just go to AutoZone. Just buy some of it out there. All right, let me see. These hoses, it looks like another pinch hose, pinch clamp right here, and then the pinch clamp on the bottom. Okay, and slide that one pretty easily. This one's a little harder because it's a big pinch clamp. So, needle nose pliers are important. Slide this downwards so I can get access to it. Pinch it together, slide it out. Bam. Simple as that. See if you could slide it off with your fingers. If you can't, you always use a flathead of some sort. Again, and push it off. And that, oh, there's fuel in there. All right, I gotta make sure it's locked, which some Pepcocks actually show a fuel lock where it actually shows it's locking. This one I can't tell. So, let me see. And if it leaks, whatever, it's only a little bit of fuel that I'm tracking in here. Oh yeah, that's a lot of fuel. Let me plug it with my finger. Like I said, your learning experience, right? Hey, look at that fuel. Lift the thing up, pull it off. What is it? Oh. Alright, as simple as that is. Looks like it's unhooked. I gotta now remove this hose. Bam. Easy. Okay. You see that wire? That's probably the fuel gauge wire. Push it in. Push the front tab this time. Just pull it off. Very simple. Oh, it's raining now. Alright. Okay. I got the tank off. Moved it over here and tilt it forward so the fuel just goes down there. I will inspect that later and see how to lock it up. If I don't know how to lock it up, I'm just going to keep it in that position the whole entire time. Forget what PRI. I'm going to assume that's primer, prime, or it's not reserve. It could be reserve too. There's always different words. There's usually an on, off, and reserve. This only has on and pry. Whatever. Keep it on its side. Don't let anything just rest on this, especially if it's heavy and you don't want to break this petcock. If you do, like I said, it's cheap. You buy it online. It's held on by 2 bolts, one there and down here. Remove it, slap a new one in if you buy the exact same OEM one, or rebuild the kit. And which this one doesn't look like it's leaking anyway, so it's good. There we go. Now the bike is looking naked. Alright. Get a close-up video of everything. And I'm going to end it there just because it's so much. The next video will show you what to do on how to remove this carburetor itself out. And again, make sure you get video footage, photos of every single angle so that you know where every hose goes and why they connect to specific areas. So as you can see, this one originally connected to the tank is the fuel line, which goes down here and right into the carburetor right on the side. This other one, vacuum hose, which was in the back end of it, connects to this splitter, and it goes to another splitter. Let's see, the finger's still touching the hose. So this hose to another splitter. It goes to the bottom of this. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. It's a pretty long video. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Let me know if you got any questions. I could assist some more. Maybe give you some pointers on what to do. And yeah, good luck everyone. Wait on for the next video. Thanks.